Today is November 14th. I'm in San Diego, California, leaving for Seattle later on today. I've been down here the last few days getting custom fit for my very first mono ski. Hands-on concepts. They're owned by a gentleman named Steve Hollub. So I came down here, arranged to come down here and go straight to his manufacturing facility here in San Diego, and met Steve. We've got a great rapport going, and he got me custom fit into a ski. He's one of the premier guys out there building some really nice sleds, and I'm glad to be on board with him. You know, K2 gave me the ski. K2 gave me some snowboard boots that I'm not, putting on today. I'm gonna put them on tomorrow. Try that out. Everything came together yesterday at Sturtevant in Sun Valley, where they offered their shop to us and gifted me their mechanic time to get us all squared away with my new bindings and so forth. And then, speaking of bindings, it was Toby Crane of Marker Bindings that helped me find the right kind of binding that I needed. And one thing I mentioned to John Tardif, my wingman, was coming into Sun Valley yesterday. I drove into Sun Valley as a skier. I wasn't driving into Sun Valley as a guy attempting to go skiing again. So that was, everything's different. Everything's different. Haven't gotten last ski season under my belt, which was 7 days, and now this is day 8. And it's day 8 at the beginning of my 18th year of skiing.
His first visit here, having his buddies here, was a blessing because he was around all of his comrades, but it also was detrimental to his learning because he was so focused on being with them and showing them that he could do it. He kind of skipped a lot of the fundamentals, and then he came back this early season and he was by himself and just had a couple friends here and was focused on learning again and really understands that he needs to learn the fundamentals to progress to the point he would like to.
Okay, so can I go for it?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, okay. We mounted the binding to the ski, went out there on the hill, and where I finished last ski season compared to where I came in this time, all of a sudden it's like I've never been mono-skied. All of a sudden I'm just like a guy on a beach ball trying to figure out how to stay upright. And so then we started tweaking and tuning some things. So then we moved the whole mono-ski back because we felt like maybe the binding was mounted too far forward for where my center is, for my body weight and so forth. And so we moved that binding back. All of a sudden, bingo, that was better. But still, I wasn't finding that I was in a sweet spot on that ski. So trying to keep my skill set going, going upward. It was frightening. It's like, my God, I'm going up Mount Rainier, man. What's going on here?
Mike basically has little or no core. So it's like sitting on a big ball while he's sitting in the mono skiing and learning how to balance, along with learning the dynamics of skiing at speed and edging and being able to deal with the mountains. So it's not an easy process.
And he said he could be running a whisker late, but I'm sure we're going to be seeing him sometime soon here. What I'm doing here, it's beyond anything that I've ever tackled. And so to be with a guy like Mark that kind of can say, this too shall pass. I'm in the company of a guy that knows, and that's helpful. That's helpful that I got somebody that can help talk me off the ledge, so to speak.
As an instructor, I pretty much had to change my teaching style, which I guess is a good instructor can do that. It took me a while because I usually give a lot of input and Mike wanted very little input. And I slowly learned how to deal with it and let him go through the school of hard knocks and then he realized that he needed to learn the fundamentals. The most exciting day for me was when he said he wants to spend the day doing drills. And we had literally spent 3 hours doing drills, and I think it really was an immense help.
I found myself in a position that I don't think I was ever in, learning how to stand up ski. I was never in a position where it just became ugly. But I've always heard the stories where somebody says they went up some chair, they shouldn't have gone up that chair, and it took them forever to get down, and it was the most frightening experience of their life. They couldn't have been sore, they couldn't have been more exhausted. That was all of me yesterday. It was horrifying. I had this horrifying experience where I just thought, man, how am I gonna get out of this? How am I gonna get out of this? And today, I'm back out there skiing. We're going back to basics. We're on Lower River Run. The snow is really, really good, and we're doing a lot of drills, a lot of training on different techniques of me just getting familiar with the equipment, how it works and so forth. And I just had this grand day. So all of a sudden, boom, I'm back on top again. And so every day back here, this time in Sun Valley, every day I'm a better mono skier than I was the day before. Every day I'm a better skier, but the trials and tribulations that are taking place is just exhausting. But then there's the highs, and like today, I ended on a great note. I said, I'm stopping. I've just worn myself out to the bone because we skied about 5 hours straight, skipped lunch, and it's been something else.
Yeah, babe. Best run ever. Unbelievable, Mike. Nice run.
You know, being a wingman for Mike is a great honor for me, and I feel like I was promoted from last year from being the pusher man to the wingman. And if there's ever a pilot you want to have in your ship, it is Mike, and being his wingman is just a hoot. So, you know, I feel it was a great time. The laughter, the fun, the challenges, the moments of, you know, John, don't talk to me. I'm not having a good time right now, to, hey, this is just awesome. Was just a tremendous experience for me. I wouldn't trade this for anything.
So it was just another wonderful day at Alpental. I've got my wonderful, skiing peers, friends that are on the hill around me. Sometimes we'd all be together. Sometimes we'd, be breaking into smaller groups. But when I got hurt, there's a run called Side Slip Shoot, and it's called Side Slip Shoot because, most people side slip it. And to describe the terrain, it's a very steep, fairly narrow chute. It's about maybe 25 feet wide. On the left-hand side, you've just got towering cliffs above you that kind of have a daunting effect. To the right, it drops off to the right, and you've got forest. And so side slip chute. The guys that I ski with and the way I skied it is we'd just ski straight down that thing at a high rate of speed, and it was one of the most challenging runs on the mountain, one of the most dangerous runs on the mountain, and it's one of the runs that the guys that I skied with, we skied it the hardest and the greatest, and it was one of those runs where you ski it well, and you're going to go home with a great day. I'm seeing myself coming straight on to a tree that's maybe 8 to 10 inches in diameter, but I'm heading straight for that tree. So and it was one of those moments where you kind of get into that slow motion effect, because as I'm coming at that tree, I'm thinking to myself. I'm talking to myself, and it's happening so fast. But I got time to talk to myself, and I'm just pretty much saying, this is gonna hurt.
Taking away the moments that make up a dull day. Fritter and waste the hours.
and it was the trunk. You know, it was I wasn't going into branches. I was going into the trunk of the tree. So I took it in the back, and my vertebrae burst at the level of about what I tell people is about my sternum level. So my vertebrae burst. So there's the first trauma. Then the next trauma is me with a burst vertebrae. Now I'm dropping to the snow. So now I've got that's kind of that second trauma.
Well, one afternoon I was working in the gym with outpatients, and this gentleman came rolling in a wheelchair. And he comes up, and I happen to be in the gym. It just is fate, sometimes life is like that. And Mike and I started talking, and here he is, this guy that just sustained this horrific accident. He was a paraplegic. I believe he's a T8 paraplegic, meaning that he's injured from his mid-chest. And he wanted to go through rehab. Mike had a motive. He was motivated to try to walk again. Incredible. And it's unheard of for T8 paraplegics to really try to walk again, because they don't have any muscles and feeling from their mid-chest down. And he wanted to try. So that's what we worked on. And I have never, and probably will never, meet a more determined, hardest working guy. The guy who'd come in and to push himself up and to try to get up on his feet with no feeling, no muscle, and ambulate in a walker. I mean, he would just be sweating, and his muscles would be straining, and he's in great shape. I mean, I don't know, Mike, he's in good shape, works out, and still works out. But it was pretty incredible what he was trying to do.
It's good to warm my bones beside the fire. Far away across the field, tolling on the iron bell, calls the faithful to their knees. We hear the softly spoken magic spell.
We are heading up to Alpental, and I'm going to be skiing there for the first time since my return to skiing. We're still within that. We just clicked past that first year since I started this whole journey and returning to skiing, and today is going to be my return to Alpental, and it happens to be on the anniversary date of my skiing accident exactly 29 years ago.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating. The newspapers shout, a new style is growing, but it don't know if it's coming or going. There is fashion, there is fact. Some is good, some is bad, and the joke is rather sad that it's all just a little bit of history repeating. And I've seen it before, and I'll see it again. Yes, I've seen it before. Just little bits of history repeating. Life's for us to enjoy. Woman, man, girl and boy, feel the pain, feel the joy, and sidestep the little bits of history repeating.
The trip to Park City, Utah, it was to go there for the Skiing History Week. And the Skiing History Week, it's held every year at a different major resort, trying to wrap it around a resort's anniversary, a celebration of some sort. And so for Park City, Utah, it was the 50th anniversary for Park City. And it's a week-long event, and it culminates with an induction ceremony for the Ski and Snowboarders Hall of Fame. And this year, John Clendenin represented freestyle skiing, and some other gentlemen represented freestyle skiing, but a guy from my time was John Clendenin. You know, they had a ski fashion show where it was a fashion show with a runway ramp and all that was held in the community square there at the bottom of the ski hill.
Susie just hit herself, and Susie is wearing a jacket. She designed the jacket. She is one of a kind.
And so it was corny, it was funny, it was hilarious, it was just very, very, very well done. Fantastic. Yeah, Park City, they've got what's called a National Ability Center. And so for me, as a monoskier, that was the first time I got around a good-sized facility like that. And they really embraced me coming there because I wasn't there as one of their students.
Now it's time to focus in on where I go from here. Lord, have mercy on my next 30 years.
My 9-year-old son, Tag, he came to Park City. And so that was terrific because it was his first year of skiing.
It's been great. It's actually really nice to ski with them. Yeah, getting to ski with my dad's friends and him is cool. We're skiing with people that he knew a long time ago from just competing and just friends overall. Monday was actually the first day I've actually ever skied with my dad.
Figure out just what I'm doing here in my next 30.
Yay, Mike, and your team. And there's nothing more inspiring to seeing him ski. And it was beautiful, synchronized skiing with him and his gorgeous son, who kissed me 3 times on skis.
In my next 30 years.
I mean, I knew, he's a tiger. Anything Mike decides to do, he's going to do, and he's going to do well, and he's going to do it for a long time. So, yeah, I mean, I love it. All right.
It was a trip of a lifetime. It was just fantastic, and I'd never been to Park City, and it really accommodated my skiing as a monoskier, and where I'm currently at really accommodated me well. But it's all about the back end and my seat. I'm in a gel seat, so it's kind of the bucket seat effect where we're kind of down in that.
Should it be able to be disassembled dynamically without any tools?
Right now we're in the design and fabrication phase of what I call my ascent sled, and it's a combination of a bi-ski, which I got from Steve Hollop from Hawk, Hands-On Concepts, and then you take hand cycling that is out there in the marketplace for somebody like me to go around on a hand cycle on the roads. So we're creating a hybrid between these two. Yeah, I think
it's been pretty challenging, but I think we got something pretty good for him at this point. And a lot of the technology that I'm using is really bike technology, putting a transmission like a hub from a bike onto it so that he has gears, and then making it clean so that it isn't sucking up his clothes and things when he's marching up the hill with the system.
It's all very exciting. It's coming along very well, but it's never been done. It's never been tested. And so I'm in a really short compressed fuse time right now, getting ready to do this thing intended for July on Mount Rainier. And so I'm feeling much like I did going into Sun Valley as far as how much pressure I put on myself to go do this assignment that I've set out to do. I'm condition-wise, all my conditioning, I'm feeling very solid about my physical capability to do it. But we're going to be down to that 11th hour, right down there to that razor's edge on getting this thing ready, get the team of guys ready, and there's still changes taking place right now. And so it's exciting, it's terrifying at the same time.
It's just great to see Mike's attitude. He is a positive individual, and he keeps that positive momentum up. And it's just glorious. All I can say is, I'm with you. At that point when I started to engage him, it was like, this is going to be magic. I'm with you, Mike. Don't worry. We'll make it happen. And
I've come up with this story that I've told a few people, and that story being that when I got hurt, 29 years old, peak of my physical, prowess, my skiing skills. When I got hurt, I had an out-of-body experience, and that skier inside me rose up and left. But he didn't come back down into me. Instead, that skier traveled into the future, looking for when the time is right. So 26, 27 years later, when these changes started happening and the depression set in, I started doing the therapy. My story is that skier, was waking me up and saying, it's time. And that out-of-body experience, that skier's back. So I refer to myself as being a time traveler.
I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle, to free. Right through the revolution. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping.